twice in one day. All right. Let's see about getting this party started. So, a few things. A few things going through my mind right now. The boots are way too simple. So, I want to figure them out so that they are more complex. Um, Part of that would probably mean creating some kind of paneling going like up over here, some down over here, something like that. Um, Maybe some sort of like inset right here. So a lot of this stuff that I'm trying to figure out now, I'm probably going to go ahead and model on top of this so that I don't have to worry about. Here, let's go ahead and Control Shift D this. We'll say geometry, modify topology, delete hidden. In fact, I've got the delete hidden button over there now. I need to get used to that being over there so that I can just just use what's there. Control Shift S. Let's kind of shrink this down some so we can get something more manageable. Let's say delete hidden. I'm going to say, let's go ahead and kind of bring this over. So this way, this should hopefully create a little bit of a pinch or a little bit of a hold on the topology right here. I can just get rid of this and this. We'll say delete hidden. Turn on my dynamic mode. Okay, so this right here, I'm going to start off by just, filling this in. MRGB color fill object. Let's get some shape breakup in there. Okay. I also kind of want to see about getting some creasing in here. Oops. Okay, let's grab that. Grab that. And then we'll go ahead and we'll inflate this just a smidge. One might be enough for now. Here, I'm trying to go through and kind of control these shapes to make something that's very specific, very clean, very smooth and controlled. So I'm trying to be very aware of, one, trying to push these five-pointed stars back so they're not right against. I was telling my wife earlier, I was like, I gotta learn GarageBand, like Apple GarageBand, so on my iPad, so that I can go ahead and like create some of my own background music. This yellow ring in here, I'm going to get rid of this. Let's just kind of pop that out. And then one of the things I want to do, let's go ahead and get rid of that. Let's make this one poly group, just so we have kind of a nicer separation of these oh, that's way strong. go. That's pretty nice. Okay, so things that I want to try to look for, things that I want to try to accomplish with this particular piece. Um, this particular piece, I'm going to want to make sure that I have here. Let's grab these, give it a little bit of thickness so that it's not sitting. Give it a little less of that, a little bit more of that. Okay, just so that it's not like penetrating through everything. Here, let's grab these. We'll say crease PG. So now we get a nice little edge in there, which that should create a nicer shape for us. It definitely does. Okay, so a couple of things that I feel like I really definitely want to do. I definitely want to make sure that my knees are separated. Okay, because they are definitely not benefiting from being uh, part of the main mesh. I feel like this ought to have been a little bit further along from, because I remember taking this and saying, you know, control click and drag to be able to extrude that out. Maybe I undid it, but I feel like I remember that. So I don't know. Not a big deal, I guess, because I'm not really going to worry too much. I'm going to grab this. Let's say split hidden. Okay. So now we've got this knee piece, and we got to make sure that the knee piece holds its shape. So we'll get that going here before too long. The other thing I want to make sure of is that the knee is what I want it to be, like the shape that I want it to be. Let's go ahead and kind of give it a little bit more of a color there. I'm trying to decide. I mean, like I'm looking at the anatomy model that I have here on my desk, and I'm trying to decide if I want and how I would want to split this up if I were to make it into. I've got an idea. I'm going to try something. Control Shift D. Let's hide the original ones here. Let's grab. Here, let's go ahead and say invert that. Control Shift S down until we get to here. Let's say something like that. So let's say Control W. So here's something that I might try. Let's come in here with this. I mean, first off, we got to close this off because that's going to be kind of a pain to work with if we leave it open like this. Okay, so we'll pull that up. Kind of pull this over and maybe back a little bit so that it's less sheared. Let me see, to be able to fit this, we got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's go insert multiple edge loops, keep poly groups. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm going to grab these. And let's kind of pull it out some. Let's see kind of what we get. Let's pull it out something like this, and we'll see kind of what we get. Oh, I thought I had everything selected already. I gotta like situate myself again. It's like it's all about getting myself set up sometimes, and then it's like I go back and I try again to get set up, and yeah, I don't know. It's fun. It's fun. Just kind of go in here like this. Okay, I'm going to say stitch to end point. Okay. Okay, the nice thing about this is that this will, like, having the knees separate from the rest of the leg mesh here like this will allow me um, to really be able to make this crease over here the way that I want. Before, I don't know if you guys remember from this morning, but I was going through and building out the leg and how that was. Oh, I need to retopologize that upper leg too. Um, but anyway, I wanted to make sure that this crease kind of came out to the other side, kind of off-centered of the kneecap itself. I'm going to kind of bring this over here a little bit more, maybe. Do something like that. Okay. Cool. Okay, so a few things that I want to do. In fact, maybe what I can do is I can go ahead and grab. Yeah, let's grab this. I'm going to say deformation. We'll say inflate just so that it's not on the surface. Um, this piece right here, this little floating dark piece, this is mostly intended as some sort of, I'll say a sketch, like kind of trying to figure some things out here. So I'm going to maybe use a couple of different things here. Let's say curved tube snap. Make sure that we have that darker color sort of selected. And then I'm just going to kind of sketch out on my mesh, more or less. Kind of an idea that I think might be interesting. We've got this sort of thing going on here, so maybe we could go ahead and give this like a here, I'm going to hit 7. Go ahead and tap on that. In fact, let me see, the curved tube brush should be a little bit better for this. No, it's not. Here, 5. And then render, not render, sorry, stroke. Let's go into the curve functions. Let's hit delete. Okay. So I want to keep this one. I don't want the other ones. So we're just going to go ahead and select that. Control Shift A. And we'll say delete hidden. I do want to say split hidden, just that this is its own thing. Let's go ahead and make sure that this is masked out so we can go ahead and kind of play with this a little bit. Again, this is intended as a little bit of a sketch, or at least this aspect of it is. I'm trying to decide if there's something I want to do to be able to, design-wise, to create a bit more of a, what's it called, of a bit of a paneling effect. Say polish just a little bit to kind of see about making those lines thinner, which I kind of like. Okay, so we got this sort of idea going on in here like this. I feel like if I were to do this, I could very, very easily take these boots, grab everything up there. We'll just say color fill object, just for the sake of testing things out a little bit. I'm not liking that. I'm not liking that. Yeah, I think that that's a little not right. Let me try something else. Ooh, I've got an idea. I got an idea. Okay, so let's grab this. I'm going to actually say, let's turn that off. But with this, what I want to do is I want to say, first off, let's grab this and this and this. Oh, shoot. Move. Okay. You know what? I'm going to do the same thing like we did earlier. Let's go ahead and we'll grab this, soften that out so that I can kind of pull the other points down as well, so that it kind of keeps everything a little bit more evenly spaced. Eso. Okay, so I'm just trying to make sure that the flow is still nice, that I'm getting the right shapes. I'm not getting too much overlap, because I want to control the overlap, you know? So we've got this going on. You know what? Maybe instead of doing it masked, let's do it unmasked. And then we can kind of get this to be a little bit more steep. Although this is getting to be really kind of pinched, so I gotta go through and kind of just tweak this a little bit manually. see. Something like this. We're getting something good here. Just want to make sure it's as good as we can get it, because there is a lot to kind of orchestrate with this particular piece. Let me see. Yeah, that's not bad. Maybe just set anybody coming in, if anybody wants to be able to see what's going on. Let's put the let's put this up to 120. Turn on the perspective. Wow. I put it in the wrong one. There we go. Just so everybody can have like a full, I guess that's not really a full view. Let me see. Make her a little bit smaller. So we don't have a ton of people in right now. Might go ahead and drop a note on the Instagram so that anybody who wants to join in can. Yeah, let me see. Do like a little boomerang. Then we'll add in the link. Okay, that'll be good enough. Good enough for what I need. Cool. All right. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do new topology for this bit here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to say Control Shift D, and I'm going to start by like eliminating things. Anything that I can keep, I'll try to. Yeah, let's go ahead and keep that. Let's keep this, and this. What about this red piece? Let's see. Yeah, we'll keep that red. Go ahead and grab that. Grab this and this. Oh, I didn't realize it was grabbing. Okay, I see. So I'm going to get rid of all my thicknesses. So we can hopefully grab pieces that are going to be a little bit cleaner and easier to use. Alright. Delete hidden. I should put delete hidden like somewhere a little easier to get to. It's okay. Sorry, try to not cough in everybody's ear. Alright, let's see. Let's go auto groups. We'll say, oh, I thought I had mirror and weld out. It's a big button though, so it makes sense that it wouldn't be. Mirror and weld. Okay. So what we need, let's grab outside. Outside. I mean, let's just grab all the outside pieces because I feel like, is that everything? Yeah, it looks like it's everything. Yeah, I think just grabbing everything is just the right move. So let's go ahead, let's kind of fix that a little bit. Okay, so now with this, first thing I want to try to do is merge a couple pieces in together, including this this little bit right here. I want to try to get this to be. Let's go ahead and kind of stitch this to the end point. Stitch that to the end point. Now we need to get extra edge loops in here, so we'll grab this. We'll grab this. Say uncrease all, just to make sure that we're not getting anything too creased. Especially not John Crease. Dangerous, dangerous man. Alright, so we got that going on. Pull that up, pull this down. Just trying to find like a good flow here. This blue bit here, we're going to need to make sure that we are getting this hooked up to that. So let's grab this edge loop. Just kind of bring this over. Okay, let's see what else we got here. It's like I feel like there's a lot going on with this surface, with this particular piece. I feel like it was very much just torn around. Which, you know, when you're blocking things in, you don't necessarily pay so much attention to those sorts of things. Okay, let's pull this over, pull this over. I can get rid of this top row. Let's come over here, we'll say delete hidden. Alright. What do we get left over? We want to grab, stitch that to there, stitch that to there. I don't feel like I want to have. Hey, Leonard. I was back. We went down to Irvine. Went to the pumpkin patch. It was a busy day. Very busy day, but it was fun. It was good. We had a good time. The kids got to pick pumpkins and yeah, it was good. How about you? that to that, pick that to that, pick that to that. And pick that to that. So yeah, lots to kind of play with this, but it's still, it's going pretty well. Decided to go through and do some topology for the legs too, to kind of like unify those pieces. Should definitely be a good choice. Okay, let's go ahead and kind of even that out some. This bit in here needs to be cozied out some. Okay. Yeah, all things considered, topology for this particular piece, I mean, it's about as easy as I was expecting, but I kind of wish it was easier. A couple of the pumpkins are huge, like massive, massive pumpkin. Well, not huge enough to be able to fit into, but they're cooking prime rib for the last 20 hours. Ooh, yes. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to say, let's collapse an edge. Let's go ahead and collapse down a couple of these little edges here. And my reasoning is I want to be able to kind of create a little bit of a, I don't know, maybe that's not the right choice. Let's, yeah, let's do this. Modify topology, delete hidden. Here's what we're going to do. Okay, I'm going to collapse mirror and weld. Oh, come on. There we go. That'll be better. Okay, and my goal is to take this piece now and we'll say stitch. Oh, not collapse. Please don't collapse. Let's say extrude. We'll just kind of set it up for our for the future, I guess. Okay, let me see. I'm going to say insert that so that way we can go ahead and we can grab this whole bit here. Pull it down. Come on. Say do nothing. Do nothing. Yeah, it's like it's not responding at all. It's like it's too on the inside or something. It's like, come on. Good grief. Oh, come on. Okay, here's what I'm going to do then. I'm going to say, let's grab this. I'm going to delete that. Oops, let's hide that. Invert that. Nope, we got a mirror and weld now. Okay, so now I know that this is all like the side that we want to be working on. Okay, there we go. So now that's working. Now that's working. Eventually we can go through, we can kind of bridge things together, but good golly. Get this sort of thing going on here. 400-pound, a 400-pound pumpkin. That's too much. We don't have the space. Yeah, I do that sort of thing all the time. Or like taking the move topological or the move brush or something. It's just such a pain. I'm just like, come on, you should be able to handle this. Oops. I gotta try to take some of these things. I gotta look and see. Okay, so I've gotta get another edge loop in here. Let's do single edge loop here. Let's say stitch to there. Let's say insert another edge loop here, just because it feels convenient. Just to make sure I'm starting to stitch here. There we go. Cool, so that part's closed off. Gotta get that closed off. Okay, so we got stuff going on here now. Awesome. Thinking about building your own computer. Awesome. Match the style of your studio. Are you gonna like do like an interesting like external casing or something like that so that it feels special and unique, different? Or are you just gonna have something simple that gets the job done? Yeah. Never doing anything halfway. Let's get rid of that loop. We'll stitch that together. That's true. You did talk about that, about how you wanted to. Yeah, I remember you. I remember you telling me about that a little bit. I do remember now. Gotta try to go through and control these loops. Cool. You know what? I think maybe instead of stitching this point to that point, maybe what I'll do is I'll kind of finish it with like a straight up point. Nah, let's finish it out. Stitch to there, so that way we get a nice finished out loop that goes all the right places. Mini bar. Something like that could probably work. Or at least be a good start, right? Let's go ahead and put that down a little bit. Let's say bridge edges together. Oh, I got the wrong edge. Shoot. Control W. Okay, cool. That's the back side. That's perfect. Okay, so still a few things to kind of finish out. We got to get this middle section built in, that little red section. I guess let's get started. Mini bar. I guess it depends on if you want to be able to host clients and things like that. Let's go ahead, let's do this. I'm going to say stitch to here, stitch to here. Stitch this little guy down here. Let's give ourselves insert. Let's grab this. Okay, so we got that, and we got that. I need another loop in here. Get that going. Stitch that together, stitch that together, stitch that together. Okay, let's see. I'm not perfectly sure where that edge is going to come to, so I don't want to try to begin stitching from the opposite side just so that I don't have to worry about ending up in the wrong spot. Okay, that's kind of what I was assuming. Alright. So I mean now we've got the pieces on there. I kind of don't want to um I don't want to rely on this old piece. I kind of want to just make it its own new piece. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and say, let's grab kind of like a middle tone from there. We'll say color fill object. So that way it's just kind of a blank piece. And let's make sure that we're getting the right shapes in here as we have it smooth, as we have it placed. This might be a little bit too pointed here. Pull this in. This needs to come out, but this needs to go in. Okay, I'm going to take this. I've been getting little gnats in the gnats in the face, gnats in the fly, little fruit flies in the face all day long. My computer's been really good. I've really enjoyed my computer. It was a little on the pricey end, but definitely a really good tool for me, especially since it works for me to be able to work professionally and also, my personal stuff. It's just nice. Um, it is big. And it definitely takes up space, but it's been super helpful. It handles everything, so it's nice. Let me see. Try to pull this in. I think there's a lot going on in here that I need to keep clean. See, it's gonna pull this in, pull this out. I'm just trying to even out my shapes and my flows so that it's not so up and down. I need this to make sure that it's creating nice clean shapes. Um, cool. All right, so here's what we want to do. We want to grab this. Same as like we did with the other parts of the leg. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna slide this edge loop. Cool. Like that'll be cool. That'll kind of create that nice dynamic shape in there that I had before. Even if it's not like perfectly the same, it still has that idea to it. Let's go Z modeler, not stitch. Let's say slide. I don't like that. Okay. Yeah. It's gonna be not a whole lot of fun if I get stuck in the process. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Because now that we've got all those pieces in there, I want to make sure that I have the topology I need to define those loops, to define those different separate pieces. Might be worth kind of making a duplicate and trying it out on the duplicate. We're going to go to group loops. We're going to go edge loop. We're going to hit group loops. That was too many. So I'm going to say 2. I don't want any polish. If I do, I want it to be very minimal. I don't like that it's going all the way around the outside. Let me see. Edge loop requires that it's hidden. I really kind of, I mean, I could, okay, so the easy way to be able to do this, I guess, the way that I want to be able to do it, let's go ahead, we'll say crease PG, and then what we can do is we can come over, let's say control 1, or, you know, hide, minimize, solo things out. What I want to do is I want to come over here to bevel width. Something like that. If we want to, we could even boost our resolution, just put it up to 1 so we get that nice middle edge. Then we go into our deformation and we'll say inflate in a negative direction. And now we have some paneling. This is a little bit better, a little bit nicer. It's a cleaner way, certainly, of being able to go through and do it compared to thing I do want to check though. I want to kind of try doubling it. Okay, now we'll go ahead and we'll try it out. Just because I want it to be, like, the detail to be a little less crisp. Yeah, let's say Control H just so that we can see a little bit more what it is we're doing. We'll say inflate a little bit more to get a little bit more depth to these pieces. Some of these other pieces we can easily go through. We can grab, like, for instance, this sucker right here. We just kind of pull it out some. Go ahead and we'll grab that. We'll grab that. Just to make sure we're getting as much of this as possible. We'll say Control W. So now we can go ahead and we can grab this and pull it forward. This way it's much more of a, this becomes more of a superficial sort of piece. Or it can be kind of an inset piece. Here, let's do this. Instead of, let's do something like this. We'll grab this, and then I'll come over here and I'll say polish by groups. Okay, let me see. That's definitely not quite doing what I was wanting it to do. So, I don't know. We'll play with it. A little bit. I don't like how this is creating this this shape right here. So I got to try to think about resolving this before it even gets to this. So this point should be down in here, I think. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let's grab this. I'm going to kind of just let's say polish by groups, actually. No, maybe not. Polish. That'll work better. Let's just minimize this. Here's what we're going to do. I know this looks like complete opposite of what it is I was saying I was trying to do a minute ago. I want to try to pull this in, like essentially insetting it, so that all these parts that I want to try to hide can be hidden, hopefully. And pull this up and over, pull this up. This essentially means that all these little bits in here are going to become, yeah, just kind of inlaid, not necessarily detail, structure. I'll go ahead and turn on my light. Hey, Brashawn, how you doing, dude? just kind of pull this out to the outside. Now we can just grab this and maybe like pull this out. I don't know, something like that. So that now this should hopefully be a little bit nicer, and we should hopefully get a little nicer of a shape too. There we go. That's looking much better. Like that shape feels much cleaner. That's nice. The only thing I want to do a little bit differently is get this triangle down here to this point to register a little bit nicer. But good job, everybody. Let's pull this down here. There we go, kind of even that out so it's a little bit less tumultuous. I don't know, like too much. There's too much difference between the up points and the down points. So I'm trying to just make sure that I'm getting the right flow, that I'm getting the right volumes, that I'm getting, you know, all these things, getting them to work. You see, that's kind of cool. Let's kind of boost this a little bit. Yeah, let's go through. Let's do this. I'm going to say, let's grab these. Let's grab this. Flip around. Let's make sure that we have everything selected except for those. And I kind of want to see what we get if we soften this out a little bit. Because right now it feels like a little bit too distinct. And it's like I want it to feel like distinct shapes, but I don't want it to feel so distinct that it feels manufactured isn't quite the right word. I want it to feel crafted. Pull on that, pull on this. I'm just trying to double check and get this to feel a little bit nicer. Get the right bevels in there, get the right... This feels a little bit tight, so it's like a matter of kind of pulling on some of these points, making sure that this is getting in there right and not, I don't know, not digging too much, right? Okay. That's looking much nicer. That'll work. That'll work. Okay, so same thing. We're going to come ahead and bring this let's go ahead and grab my painterly brush and just kind of stroke on a little bit here so we get that white. I'm glad that worked. Okay, over here we want to get this. Let me see. Let's go back up in our rows here, just so that we can make sure that we have a guide for which colors we want to have as that color. Okay, and everything else should be the darker color, it looks like. Cool. Okay, so what we're going to do, let's go ahead and grab this color. We'll paint this on there. Let's take it nice and easy so that it doesn't get too much of a color variety on there. So we've got that. And then we also want to make sure that we have these other pieces as darker. Okay. Make sure that we've got the right color. Put that onto the right pieces here. So now we get this sort of thing going on, which feels pretty cool. It's definitely not finished, but it's one of those things that it's starting to feel much nicer. Now we can turn off this this old set of legs, and there we go. I mean, this is looking great. Thanks, Prashad. That means a lot, dude. Yeah, this has been a fun project, and it's just she's so stressful. Okay, I'm gonna come up here. Let's say delete. Okay, delete. Okay. Save. Okay. I know for sure that I lost some volume. It might be worth just kind of bringing some of it back. And I know that I gained some volume up here. It's just a matter of kind of playing around, making sure that I'm getting shapes and everything where I want them. Okay, I'm just going to kind of take this and you know what? I'm going to kind of mask out that top point. Let's say deformation, we'll say inflate. Mask out that point. Cool. Okay, the rest, anything that I need to adjust further, I'll probably try to address in other pieces. So for instance, like the shorts, I'll adjust the shorts a little bit to kind of accommodate any changes I've made to the legs. Except for right there, I kind of like the fuller shape to the thighs here. So it's like, I don't know, it's kind of tricky. Find a balance somewhere. Yeah, trying to get that in there. it's like I don't want to nitpick this project, but I do want to nitpick this project. I want to make sure that it's getting like the the attention that I want out of it, you know. Yeah, let's go ahead and say geometry. Not modified topology. Let's say dynamic. Let's hit apply. Let's turn off the thickness. We'll turn up some smoothing here, so we get the right shapes here. Let me see. I do want this to be tighter, like a tighter corner. Oh, come here. We're going to see, let's say, crease, edge. Just to kind of see where this puts us. I don't like how that's, like the shape that that's making. Let's say edge loop partial. We'll say crease, we'll put this up to 2. And then we'll put our dynamic. Put the dynamic to 3 or 4. In fact, maybe let's put it up to 3, but we'll put the crease down to 1. But we'll go ahead and we'll insert a single edge loop up here, so that it keeps a sharper shape and gets a rounder shape on the front side. I just don't like that rounded corner. Let's not. We'll keep it up at 2. Because I like this shape. I can accept this shape. I like that it's a corner, but that it's also a little bit rounded. You know, so we're going to take that dynamic. Yeah, we'll leave it at 3 for now. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's create a waistband for this. I think I'm going to go ahead and create a waistband separate from the actual shorts. So let's come in here to the shorts. I'm going to say, let's rename this. I'm pretty sure this is all just single-sided. Yeah. Okay, let's say Control-Shift-D, be able to make new shorts. We'll grab this. We'll say split hidden. And then for these, let's go ahead. I'm going to insert a few edge loops through here just to make sure that it's a little bit more even. Slide that edge loop over a little bit. Edge loop complete then. There we go. I knew they wanted to move over. Alright. I'm going to hit save. And then I want to see about creating a decent kind of like crinkled short band. It's like I don't want this to be like a thin elastic band, like cheapo sort of thing that you get at sporting goods store. It doesn't really have any kind of anything to it. Let's go ahead. I'm going to say let's get rid of. I don't have to get rid of that. Let's say apply. And then let's say Control D to kind of give it some extra bandage there. Control D again. I think that should hopefully be enough. I'm going to come over here. Let's open up our dynamics, because this is where we're going to start to get, not inflate, expand. And make this a little bit more gentle, something like 0.2. Let's run that simulation. And you see we're starting to get some interesting effects there. But I don't want it to be, let's kind of soften this out, soften that out. I don't want this to be too crazy, for one, but I also want to make sure that it doesn't self-collide. So you can see we're starting to get some sort of effect here. It's just not quite the effect that I'm wanting. Let me see. Let's do this. Okay. Let's try running that simulation again. Okay, this is starting to look much, much nicer. Just gotta let it run here for a moment. So you can see now, I mean, that feels much nicer. Let's go ahead and kind of pull this out some. And then I'm going to hit inflate. There we go. I'm liking this, but I feel like, let me see. Let's come over here. We'll say auto groups. Let's grab this. You know what, let's do it the other way around. Let's do with the bottom. Let's kind of widen this out some. Okay, that's kind of interesting. I'm going to keep this, but I also kind of want to try something slightly different. Well, I mean, I also want to try to go through and make like a kind of an indentation going around so that it feels like it's a waistband. Okay, that helps it to feel like it's squeezing in on her waist, things like that. It's kind of interesting. I'll also probably want to give her like some sort of like tie right here so that it feels like it's tied on, you know, cinched up tight. But that'll be a chore for a different time. Let me see. Hanging on the dark side. Wait, what?
What? Nobody brought cookies. Yeah, I'm not certain that I'm crazy about this waistband. Oh, I see what you're talking about. Oh, hey, sis. Wait, Darkside's one of your names? Oh, Cookie. Oh, okay, okay. Kind of lift that up a little bit. Okay, let me see. Let's get this. Raise it up. Pull it in. There we go. That's feeling a little bit nicer. I like having a little bit of space there for that. He saw everybody was on Twitch, so you're like, it's all the FOMO. I just want to give this a little bit more of like a, I'll say a swoop, like a wing. I feel like that feels a little bit more active, a little bit more dynamic, instead of feeling like too form-fitting. Let's see. Okay, let me see. With this leg, I currently have it so that it's solid going back. Let me go ahead and kind of tweak the flow there a little bit. And that's definitely going up in the right direction of where I want it. I just want to kind of take take some of this and push it in some. Just to get myself a little bit more of an anatomical sort of foundation. We'll see about getting this so that this comes over just a smidge more. That feels so much more dynamic. It feels so much cooler. The color, though, is kind of throwing me off, so I might just go through, say, color, fill object, just because that's helping me to see a little bit better what's going on. Leonard's been painting the Stormtroopkins. Sis is working on a drawing of D&D monster she's making and waiting for dinner to cook. Awesome. See, this needs to come up a little bit. This needs to go down a little bit. Make adjustments where necessary. It's all necessary. Okay. Let's build in the upper series of this shell here. I'm going to say geometry modified topologies that close holes. This is totally just temporary anyway, so I'm not super worried about it not being clean geometry. Yep, I just want something that'll allow me to create and control the thickness of my mesh. Here, we'll go ahead and we'll pull that down. I mean, we don't need to pull it down quite as much yet. Yeah, let's get rid of it. Delete hidden. You're always clean. I did just shower. Okay, let me see. What can we do to get this clean going around? I gotta count these things. So let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. So I'm going to start. I'm going to leave. Oh, not that. Let's say bridge edges. We'll go ahead and bridge across. Bridge that, bridge that, bridge that. So now we got 3 and 3. Which means we're going to say insert single edge loop. Now what I want to do is I want to actually create enough of a space here for there to be, in fact I'm going to have to do this, this, get rid of that, this, get rid of that. And now I should be able to bridge these to here, these to here, this to here, this to here. Okay. Same thing, this to here, this to here, this to here, and that to there. Okay. So now this whole bit. And then I'm not sure. Like this is definitely going to have to be. Let's expand it once. Control W. Control W. Let's do something like that. You can hear the parrots outside. I don't know if you guys can never hear them, but it's always kind of crazy to me. We have freaking parrots outside. I'm going to say slide edge loop partial just to get this to kind of be more of the thickness of what it is on the bottom. This should be decent. Like that should be just fine. You miss parrots. Did you guys have parrots up in the Bay Area? Post your whip in the Discord. Awesome. There we go. Okay. Here's what we're going to do with this. We're going to say, yeah, crease level 2 maybe. Put the smooth subdivisions up to 0. And then we'll get this some thickness. 0.002, something like that. No, 0.003. Make it a little bit thicker. These are knee pads after all. Most of the birds have flown south. Oh, yeah, very different sounds. Very different sounds. I was talking to the kids about the parakeets the other day, actually. Because Scarlett's convinced that she'll get herself a cockatiel at some point. And yeah. Let's go ahead and say mask. No, come on, slide those points. Just so we have a little bit more topology to kind of deal with here. Keep ourselves nice and smooth. Okay, do nothing. Stop doing things. Stop doing things. I'm not talking to you, by the way. I'm talking to the computer. Zebrus is trying to take matters into her own hands. I'm trying to wonder. Well, I'm trying to wonder. I am wondering if it could be cool to, instead of having like big chunky knees like this, if it's having like little teeny knees could be cool too. Knees small. So I mean, I was thinking that like if I did this, it would be something smaller, something much more like a cap. So let's say polish by groups. Yeah, let's say polish. And kind of still keep it round-ish with like a flatter sort of shape on the bottom. In fact, maybe it could be cool to just kind of like widen this out. I don't know. Let's. I think I like the bigger knees better. It feels like too unintentional. It feels too unintentional. Let's say delete that, and I'll just try to figure out what I'm doing with these real knees here at some point. Oh yeah. Okay. I might have to like go through and work on some design stuff for the leg before I can get a super satisfactory result with it. I'm not super satisfied with it. It's too simple. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do to make it so that it's less simple. I mean, I've got this sort of sketch out idea here, but I mean, I kind of want to like build some elements to tie the legs into the rest of the body. I don't know. It's kind of tricky, hard to figure out exactly what would be the right thing, or maybe not the right thing, but the best thing. Some of these things, like these edges right here, I'm going to go ahead and try to take. Yeah, let's grab that whole thing, just to make sure that I'm not going to affect anything else. I'm going to say slide edge loop partial. Well, let's say slide edge loop complete. But yeah, making kind of like a little bit of slanted bevel. That'll make it feel a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more graceful. Yeah, I know, lots to kind of play around with. I gotta figure out, see what I can do. Um, That's right. You can't terrorize me. Stop picking on me. You see, this is feeling very crispy, crunchy. shouldn't contain any vertices. Delete UVs. Okay, I shouldn't have to worry about any issues with that particular thing anymore with this model, with this particular piece anyway. Okay, I think like for this inner area here, I'll probably just make like a little soft elbow piece, like some sort of mesh that goes in through there. Just kind of fake it. I'll probably pull it from the original body mesh. Um, let's go ahead and kind of pull this up and over a little bit. I like that, but now here's the issue. I went through and I kind of just shot myself in the foot in a way. Let's go ahead and get. Did I or didn't I? Huh. Maybe it doesn't do that anymore. Here, I'm going to try flipping it inside out just to make extra sure. Yeah, no, it's only one side, or one piece. That's nice. Sometimes what'll happen is that like when you make it double, and maybe it's just not like that anymore in the newest versions of ZBrush, but it used to be that if you had a piece that had thickness and you turned on your what's it called? Your dynamic subdivision stuff, that it would go through and create extra thickness for you. So like it would give you like an extra piece, essentially. Not ideal. Just something to clean up, but it's, it's something to clean up. Yeah, I got a bail here to turn off and try to go and be a member of the family for a bit. Be a human being for a bit with a life. But yeah, this is turning out cool so far. I'm enjoying it. I think that she's definitely coming along. She definitely still has a long way to go, but not too bad. Not too bad at all. Here, I'm going to say geometry real quick. Let's say thickness there. Let's make sure that it's not going through her body anywhere weird. Modified topology. Oh, not modified topology. Let's go ahead and say apply. Something that I want to do. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to get rid of extra edge loops that I don't need. Let's turn off thickness now. Let's go ahead and turn up smoothness by like 3, something like that. So you see these little bits right here, I want to fix things like that. So we're going to come over here, just say collapse edge. We'll just collapse that down. We'll collapse that down. Down. Okay. Just give it a little extra inflate. Just so that it feels a little bit more substantial. I mean, I thought about adding different things. I'll probably add in different floaters. So I'll add in like a seam here, maybe. Um, Maybe a floater to be able to add like a trim or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, calling that good for now. I'll probably work on her some more later. I don't know that I'll stream her if I work on her again later. But yeah. Yeah, thanks for coming and saying hi, guys, and for hanging out a little bit. Yeah, she's gonna be fun. She'll be fun when she's all done. I'll probably start trying to take her over into Maya a little bit more again, just to be able to start testing materials on her a bit more, being able to things like that, things like that. So, so yeah, there we go. That's where she at. Yeah, still lots to do, so much to do. Uh, but that's how we do. So yeah, again, thanks for coming and hanging out. Good to have fun with you guys, and I'll see you next time I see you. Smartest out.